All right, here we go. And now we are getting into game number 1. Skyler sounds like the man of the people. I mean, if you want some more Skyler and if you enjoy his play, he does stream a lot on his own channel. We have rated him a couple of times after Battle of the Americas. He's usually streaming at around that time. He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy. But here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE. We have the American Terran representing Team Exxon. He's red. He is Skyler. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Canadian Terran. He's blue, representing himself. He is Buster. Roddy. Hey Skyler, congrats on your victory. No one expected you here today. How do you feel? Skyler, easy clap. Turns off clam. Did that actually happen? Did Roddy actually say that? Mate, Roddy, come on. To be fair, he isn't very you know, he doesn't know too much about the NA scene. Ooh, solid scout here though. Skyler going for another cheeky proxy. I'm sure he wanted to drop into the main base again in Proxy Marauder, but this was scouted by Buster with his SCVs. Oh my god, pulling even more boys to make sure this doesn't happen. And Skyler is forced to go for plan B and throws down his racks at home. It looks like he does want this racks to finish though, and it looks like it may just barely... Ooh, loses one of the SCVs. The other one though, it looks like it will just barely finish. Oh, it's gonna be close! And it looks like it will. The racks completes, and the first Reaper is on the way. Again, for those who weren't here for the previous series, Skyler... Ideally, and you do this quite often in several matchups in on Lightshade, you throw down the bunker, you throw down the Raxes, you lift up, you drop here in the main, and then you get out Marauders with some tech labs. And we saw it work to great effect against his previous opponents, but here, Buster was on top of his scouting, was able to deny this, and now Skyler is forced into a more standard game. I say a more standard game, he's still making Reapers, he's still staying on one base. We'll see if he expands. So we have a factory on the way behind this. Meanwhile, the first Reaper does show up. It looks like he will be able to take down this first SCV. Does delay the depot. Oh my god. And Skyler does get the first shot off. Up! Skyler so far ahead in the Reaper war battle, even if you will. Oh my god. And now the SCV building the factory. No, it's going to go down. It does go down. The depot is still not being completed. A lot of delays here for Buster. Meanwhile, Skyler, he's reinforcing with more Reapers. Oh my god, he's still making nothing but Reapers, by the way. Even from home. And here they go. They do show themselves. And again, Skyler is ahead with those Reapers. Ooh, the bunker did just barely finish. That's so important there for Buster. Skyler has to be careful not to go too deep into that mineral line, and the Hellion does show itself, does reveal itself. Nice micro, but in the end, these Reapers will get cleaned up. Ooh. Skyler losing all 3 of his Reapers in the end there. He did kill 1 Reaper of Buster and a lot of workers, delayed a lot of the factories and the depots, but in the end, Buster does hold on. And with his Hellions here, he should be fine. Skyler, please. Oh god! Bit of his micro there, loses one of his Reapers a little bit needlessly. Ooh, another Reaper does dive in though, and looks like he's gonna get more worker kills too already. Jesus. I think Skyler's had enough. he's stopped with the Reaper production, thank god. There's still 1 Reaper remaining, but he's kind of chilled out for now. Would you have the natural on the way? Cyclone about to finish up, which is going to be on point for the defense. And we have seen Buster do this in the past. In the previous series against Mogar, he did go for this Banshee as a follow-up, but it looks like it will get scouted. It looks like, yep, the starport gets scouted. The tech lab hasn't been spotted yet, though. Skyler needs to go a little bit south with that Rax. Oh, and he doesn't see anything, so he knows it's a 1-1-1. Oh, there we go. He turns around and he shoots it. No, no, puppy, please. Oh, God. go down. There we go. He sees the tech lab. He sees it researching, even caught a glimpse of the first Banshee. So he knows that Cloak Banshees are on the way. And here comes Buster. Meanwhile, across the map, what do we have to defend? We got a tank. We got a Cyclone. Do we have detection? Ooh, a Raven is going to be on the way, but the Raven is not done yet. That does mean that Skyler needs to save up some energy for a scan. And here comes Buster. Oh my god, the tank is unsieged. Oh, but I guess he doesn't need to be sieged as he does start to step back. The Cyclone does get a lock on. Oh, not on the Banshee though, and the Banshee does cloak. Oh my god, it looks like the Cyclone is going to go down. Mate, there's not enough that does shoot up. The repair! Is it enough? The repair is just barely enough to keep the Cyclone alive. Oh my god, that was so close. The Cyclone was one shot away from going down, and if the Cyclone fell, then that Banshee would have just had free reign over the main base. Oh my god. Meanwhile, here comes the next Banshee and Cyclone, but this time Skyler does have a Raven. He does have mobile detection. He has to be careful because the Cyclone of Buster can focus it down. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Cyclone almost loses its life. Oh my god, it actually does. Ay, ay, ay. And Skyler, he saved his tank by pulling the SCVs. He saved his Raven as well, and he was even able to focus down the Banshee and all of that. My god. Scans confirms, hey, you don't have a natural. He sees that it's just now floating over. So he knows that Buster isn't staying on one base. But Skyler has got to be feeling pretty good about himself right now. Throw your computer at him, Skyler. Poke his eyes out. Fight dirty. Oh god. I mean, Skyler was able to recover really well from that failed proxy. Really well. And now he's in here, once again pushing away this Banshee. Really ambitious for Buster to go for a third Banshee after the first two got shut down. Don't know if that's the best move here. But of course, he will have the opportunity to dive in again and get into a mineral line. And we'll see what he has in store for us here, as it looks like he's switching up his production a little bit, focusing on Biotank. Did get a Raven out. Ravens, of course, being a very key unit in this matchup. With their auto turrets, their interference matrix, their anti-armor missile, all that good stuff. Meanwhile, Banshee does show up again, but it looks like the Banshee will get cleaned up. Oh my god! Escaped with 2 HP! Oh god! Buster, please! You could have gotten away! The Banshee did get hunted down. And now Skyler, mate, he's pushing out across the map. What do we have here, Skyler? We have 4 tanks, a Cyclone, 5 Vikings, and a Raven. My god. Not a lot of Marines. Literally 1 Marine. So there's not a lot of buffer, but there's still a lot of power here in this army. Ooh, meanwhile, oh, does he see? Does he see? He catches a glimpse of the Marines. He sees them. He knows. And Buster's already sieged up here, waiting for the army to push through the shrubbery. The tall grass. Yep, Buster scans. He sees all the tanks. Pre-siege is up, and Skyler is going to have a hard time pushing through here. I don't think you want to go through here. Oh my god. Okay. Doesn't commit. Now, there are things that Skyler can do. Obviously, he can just disable the first tank. Ooh, the tank does unsiege, and Skyler rotates around. He's going for the long way. Regardless, he will be able to bypass this army, and Buster has to be careful not to be caught out of position. He needs to move. There we go. He does unsiege. He's trying to meet the army. They do scan each other. Raven shows up. God, there are just so many tanks here. And the Liberator does show up here for Skyler. 2 shots go off. The tank just barely manages to survive. And Buster is memeing it up. I love it. I'm not referring to this double drop, which I like. You know, he's going for some aggression across the map, but he's going for a ninja base. Now, will he survive long enough for the ninja base to really come into play? Because already 1 tank gets shut down. We just have 3 tanks nicely spread here by Buster. Ooh, Skyler taking a couple of free shots. And here comes the drop in the main base of Skyler. Is there anything to defend? No, there is not. Skyler pulls the boys. Mate, he's all in. Oh my god, the boys are being pulled by Buster as well. It looks like he may... Oh my god, no, all these workers are gonna go down. Mate, I feel like you need to land the Vikings. Never mind, the boys get pulled away. And we are gonna have a very interesting game. The Liberators obviously can siege up and take down this base. Skyler will get into the main base. And what I worry about is that I don't think that that Buster has enough to win a base trade. There are just so many tanks. There are Vikings, there are SCVs. The boys are forced off the line. The Marines are coming out. They do focus down the Liberators. Oh my god, but now the tanks are just going ham here. The Marines coming from behind do get taken out. Ooh, the Marines are getting dropped on top of the tanks here, and it looks like they may be able to take them out. Land, puppy, land the Vikings. The Marines do get cleaned up. And now there is nothing left here for Buster. He does evacuate a lot of his workers, and because of his economy, he's continuing to produce SCVs, which is something, sorry, produce Marines, I should say. Meanwhile, Skyler has a proxy of his own, a ninja of his own. Wow. And... yeah, I think Skyler just wins. I think the thing that's going to win Skyler the game are these Vikings. It doesn't matter that Buster lifts up his buildings and goes into dead space. Because they're Vikings, Vikings can just chase everything down. Meanwhile, Skyler, with buildings like this, there's just no way for Buster to kill them. Like, he just doesn't have any anti-air in the sky. He only has Marines. Oh boy, there's a lone, there's a lone Marauder here and a Marine. The Marine goes down, the Marauder goes down. Unfortunately, Buster wasn't producing any Vikings. He was producing medevacs instead. Because of that, he just doesn't have any way to kill the floating buildings. This CC is on fire. I mean, the one thing going Buster's way is that Buster does have a hidden base, and he's actually making production. He's gonna be making, oh my god, he gets scanned! Oh no! Skyler, he sees. Meanwhile, Buster also scouted this with the medevac. He knows also about the ninja base. They know about each other. And now they're both on the clock, mate. Here comes the drop of the Marines. This base will go down. It is a CC, but it's turning into a planetary. It looks like the planetary may not finish though. Meanwhile, Skyler's just cleaning things up here at the natural base. And Skyler is still continuing to mine here outside his main. And this is an orbital, which means he can land mules. Oh my god, but he gets found! Oh my god, and these Marines are gonna do so much damage! Oh god, Skyler is still under threat here. And Marauders are on the way. Buster is supply block though, and yo, mate, Skyler, you gotta go. He's been taking his sweet time to get to the top right-hand side of the map. He's known about this for a while now. And finally, he does show up. He lands his Vikings. He should be able to take down this base. A couple of Marauders are gonna show up. We'll see how much damage they can do. Again, every unit they pick off is so important. Oh my god, but the starter step, the SCVs all get taken out. The CC falls. No more bases for Buster. And he's coming back home with his Marines. To be fair, this is a good amount of Marines. He has Stim, he has Combat Shield. Maybe he can land on top of the tanks and kill them. Like, it's possible. There are Vikings to protect them, but it's all about the positioning. And these tanks are really low. It's not going to take a lot to focus down at least two of them. Skyler, he doesn't see. He doesn't know where the army is. He just knows that it's not attacking him at the moment. Oh god, Buster has vision. He's waiting for the moment when Skyler unsieges. The friendly fire! Never mind, it wasn't close enough. I thought there would be some friendly fire on the tank there. I'm sure Buster thought that as well. And Skyler's continuing to mine. He actually made a cyclone. Interesting. Buster's just waiting for his moment. If I look at Buster's vision, he's waiting for Skyler to leave this place. And Skyler doesn't know that the drop is waiting for him. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, he's on sieging. That was the moment. Buster's going in. He focused down one of the tanks. He's going to focus down 2, 3 tanks. All the tanks are falling. And Buster cleans up the army. Skyler, mate, what do you have left? Buster knows. He knows what... Oh, but I think Skyler's safe. Why do I say that? He's using the skin, so it's a little bit hard to tell. This is a planetary. This is a planetary. He has resources to repair. He's got a tank. He's got a cyclone. It's going to be very difficult to break this position. Buster is going to try, but I don't think he has enough DPS. I could be wrong. Here we go. He's going to go for a drop. Oh my god, the cyclone focuses down one of the medevacs. The medevac falls and it did have units inside. Oh, the repair on the tanks are enough. GG gets called. And Skyler with the planetary, with 1 tank and 1 cyclone, he was able to just barely win the game. Wow. That was close. That was very close. Thankfully, Skyler turned that base into a planetary, not an orbital. Skyler just messaged me. Hey, is this a best of 5? Oh, by the way, easy clap. Oh boy, oh boy. Skyler's like 7-0, let's go. It's like, I'm not dropping a single map today, mate. Let's go. It's not happening. I'm not gonna let it happen. Let me just invite the people. Rishi, where are you? They were just asking me to make the lobby. So, of course, I'm on it. I'm on it. Getting the lobby out there for the people. Making sure everyone joins. Of course, we have our players. We have our casters. Scoria, where are you? Lobby link, just in case. Just asking if the players are ready. Skyler is, he's ready to go. Just waiting on Buster / Scoria to confirm, and then we can go. He could have never lost even without a planetary. It's true. It would have been a draw. As Pascal, sorry. Pascal is saying in the chat. It's true. Again, because Scoria, aka Buster, didn't have any Vikings, it was very possible for Skyler to just float up some buildings and go to dead space, and he would just force a draw. As long as he got there. Meanwhile, speaking of, here we have one of our players, the Canadian Terran player, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE. He is, some know him as Scoria, but he is Buster. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha ALE, we have the American Terran player. He's red, representing Team Exxon. It is Skyler. And what do these boys have in store for us here? We are here finally for the first time today on Jagannatha. Unfortunately, this has been vetoed in every other series that we've casted. But now that we're in a best of 5, it does mean that there are less vetoes and we get to see more variety in the maps. And I have to wonder, what does Skyler have in store for us? And obviously, you can tell because of what we've seen so far, Skyler is the kind of player who, if he smells blood in the water, or whenever he can, he'll try and end the game early. Whether it's through cheese, whether it's through a 1-base all-in, maybe a 2-base all-in, he'll go for it. Why not? Boy. No fear. Nothing is off the table, mate. And we've seen Buster Proxy as well, but so far, this game, it's pretty normal. Pretty passive. Surprisingly so. I'm shocked. I'm shocked right now that there is no, not just that there is no proxy, but also that Skyler didn't go for something like walling off at the ramp, you know, when hiding what he's really going for. Things are pretty straight up. And Buster did SCV scout. He sees that everything is normal, so he goes for a CC. Why not, right? Let's actually get into a longer game for the first time today. Let's go more than 10 minutes, if that's even possible. So is going for a faster natural base. Meanwhile, Skyler focusing on his production, focusing on his factory at the moment. Eventually, I imagine he will start a CC, but we'll see how long it takes him to do so. As Skyler is just setting up, there it is. CC does get thrown down at the natural base. Skyler, I imagine he's going to be looking to push out with 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. He's done this in the past, moving out with 2 Reapers and 1 Hellion at the moment. We'll see if he continues to produce, and we'll see what he can get done. Because I do think that Skyler does have the better micro. I mean, we've seen it time and time again, how he can micro and utilize these Reapers. So I am a little bit concerned for Buster. The bunker is not done yet. And Skyler, here he is. He shows up and immediately starts focusing down the Reaper. Can he get it? Oh, he gets the Reaper. The bunker finishes, but there is nothing to go inside it. Oh, the SCV gets focused down. Damn, that timing. Aye. The best timing that Skyler could have hoped for. And now things are looking from pretty good to really bad, to very bad right now, because now, God, the starport's being delayed. There is a Hellion here and a couple of Marines, but again, there's no mining at the natural. Like, this is disastrous for Buster. Oh my God, the Reaper falls. And so does the Hellion, but it looks like Buster may just barely have enough to clean this up. But this is what I mean. Skyler was able to achieve so much with only 2 Reapers and a Hellion. Aye. And now Skyler he's ahead in workers. He still doesn't have an orbital, to be fair, so he's still behind in that respect. I know timings. I have to agree with him. You know, if Skyler knows anything, it's his timings, mate. Oh my. What a guy. And there we go. Skyler, with that small lead, is able to just keep moving forward with that. He's got a Raven coming out here just in case his opponent was going for Banshees again, as he did scout the starport with the tech lab. I believe. Yes, he did. Meanwhile, I do like that Buster isn't going for that Banshee. I mean, he got scouted, and he knows he got scouted. It's really risky to continue to invest in something like that, and, like, cross your fingers and hope that it pays off. Instead, he goes for a Raven, something a little bit more standard, less risky, just really a core unit when it comes to your army. So sticks with that, and in case his opponent was being aggressive with Banshees, he will also have detection as well. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Buster does scout with an SCV. He quote-unquote scouts. He misses the army move out. Aye. SCV, you had one job, boy. He misses the army. Skyler, he's going across the map with his Raven, with his Marines, with his tanks, with everything that he has. And this goddamn SCV misses all of it. Ah, God. Now he moves. Meanwhile, what do we have to defend? We still have that bunker from earlier. We have a tank. We have a Raven. Like, there is a decent amount here. Ooh, he does move a Marine forward. It looks like this Marine should be able to scout the army. Just barely he sees it. And now he knows. Now he knows for sure the tanks are here. It looks like the depot will be taken out. And now Buster is supply blocked. Ay. And it looks like he wants to try and break this position, but can he really try and break 3 tanks? Yo, he's not breaking. He's just going across the map. Bold move, mate. I mean, he can definitely catch reinforcements, and it looks like he will be able to catch 1 tank for free. Nicely done. Solid pickoff there by Buster. But at the same time, now there is 0 mining in the natural base. Oh my god, the CC is going to fall. The tank gets disabled. He lands the Vikings. The tank does go down. And now, yo, is he going to even deny Stim? Oh my god, things are just not going well for Buster at all. Buster, he actually committed to going across the map. What is there to defend? There's a tank on the high ground. The boys are being pulled to safety. And I just don't think there's enough here for Buster. He just can't push up the ramp into the main. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, we have Skyler wreaking havoc in the main base of Buster. Buster, he has a single Marine in the back line, and that's all he has. He's forced to pull the boys. The desperation move, and it's not going to be enough, mate. There's far too much here to protect these tanks. Buster loses everything, and GG gets called. Skyler takes game 2. Oh god, it's getting hot in here, mate. Skyler, his moves are on fire. I was like, Skyler, what's the next map? He's like, mate, I let my opponents choose all the maps they want. I don't veto, mate. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. Buster, what's it gonna be? Ooh, Oxide. Solid map. Does make sense in a TvT. Can Buster bring it back? He's got one chance left here. One more shot. One opportunity. As I invite everyone. Rushi, get in here. There you are. So I do send him the lobby link. There we go. Ask if the players are ready. And here we go. Game number 3, potentially the final game in this series. As a reminder, this is a qualifying match. Winner advances on to the NA closed qualifier and secures some money. As I just quickly check here, North America qualifiers, main events. I believe regardless of where you place in the closed qualifiers, you will walk away with at least 150 USD. My god. And we'll see who has a chance to do so as spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide ALE. We have the Canadian Terran. He's blue, representing himself and the land of Scoria. It is Buster. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the American Terran. He is red, representing Team EXO, and he hasn't lost a single game today. None at all. It is Skyler. Looking to clean sweep the brackets. Ay, ay, ay. Can he be stopped? Can Buster put a point on the board? I want to believe he can. Again, game number 1 was really close. It was very scrappy. It went down to the wire there. And I do think maybe if Buster had made a couple of changes, a couple of decisions were made differently, he would have been able to win that game. But in the end, Skyler was able to come out on top. But I think what that does show is that Buster has it in him. He definitely does. He has a chance. And we'll see what he does with that chance. As, for now, we don't have any proxies. Of course, that doesn't mean that these players aren't going to be aggressive by any means, but at the moment at least, things are pretty chill. Skyler going for the factory after the racks, not going for 2 or 3 rack shenanigans. And so is Buster. So far, both players going for the same thing, mirroring each other. We do have an SCV moving out here for Skyler, and if an SCV moves out, it's for a reason. I imagine he wants to proxy a starport. Show me that proxy starport. As the SCV does show up, surrounded by the shrubbery, by the tall grass, to make it even harder to scout. Meanwhile, the SCV of Buster is scouting the outside of his base to make sure he isn't getting proxy racks. I mean, makes sense. And there it is. Skyler does throw down that starport. So there's a lot you can do with this starport. Obviously, you can proxy a medevac and then you can go for a drop in the main base. You can lift up, like, say, Hellions and just zoom across the map. Something that is a little bit more likely just because of the position. It's not that close for a drop. It may just be either for a Liberator or he could proxy Banshee. We'll see. We'll see what he has here planned for us. Meanwhile, oh, Skyler is going for a tank, mate. He could be looking to be ultra aggressive here, and it's a reactor? What? Is that a misclick? No. Going for a reactor, not a tech lab, Skyler is. Okay. Interesting. Meanwhile, Buster is going for a tech lab on his own starport, so he is committing to that Banshee style that we've seen him whip out in TvTs in the past versus both Mogar and Skyler. What is the plan here? Vikings? Yeah, Vikings. There we go. We're going to have 2 Vikings coming out here at a time. There we go. 2 Vikings. Okay. Interesting. Interesting that he decided to hide this. Fun fact. Buster has not gone across the map at all. He has not gone past just the outside of his own bases. So he didn't scout anything. So I don't really know whether this was really worth it or necessary. I think necessary is a better word. But Skyler, he's moving out with his army. Ooh, he does catch a Banshee. Cloak is not done. Oh, it gets sniped by the Viking. Yo, the 100, the 1,000, the big brain plays. Ay, ay, ay. The Viking comes out of left field, snipes the Banshee. What is there left here for Buster? Buster knows the position he's in. Ay, ay, ay. He's going to try and maybe break this position. Maybe just go across the map again? I guess that's the call. Base trade, let's go. Here we go. The tanks are slowly sieging up. The Vikings waiting for the Banshee. Banshee does cloak in time to escape. And meanwhile, once again, a tank does get caught in the middle of the map. This is dangerous. There's nothing here to defend at home. It looks like Buster should be able to break into the main base. Oh god, the Reapers are starting to wreak havoc here in the mineral line. Meanwhile, Buster does pull all the boys to try and break out. He does get a tank out. Yo, is this going to be enough? Can Buster hold? The tank is shelling away. The Vikings are falling. And it looks like Buster, he should just barely holds on. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, I wasn't paying attention, and it looks like neither was Buster. It looks like the boys of Skyler surrounded those Reapers and somehow killed them. Yeah, they're dead. Meanwhile, it looks like this Banshee will be able to clean up the tanks. It does clean up one of the tanks. Scan is used. It looks like the scan is just barely enough to kill the Banshee, but the Marines will finish off this tank. God, very scrappy, but again, Skyler is ahead. Skyler is well ahead at the moment. He's ahead in army supply, he's ahead in workers. Eventually, the Vikings do get cleaned up. And Skyler does fall back to regroup. I am shocked, by the way, that like there was so much potential for Buster with those 2 Reapers. Like if he had the micro and the attention for it, he could have maybe killed almost everything here. There was a Cyclone as well, but I guess, you know, the SCVs alongside the reinforcements of Skyler were enough to defend. And Skyler is getting ready for the second round. What I do like is that Buster is continuing to pump out Banshees. I think that's an advantage that he has because Skyler only has 1 orbital for scans. And here we go, one of the Banshees is about to show up in the main mineral line of Skyler. This Banshee can deal a lot of damage. Oh boy. Buster has a 3rd CC on the way? Oh my god. Okay, he cancels. I was about to say, mate, are you sure you want to be doing this? Meanwhile, Skyler, he's bleeding out a lot. This Banshee is winning Buster the game right now. It's winning. Is it enough to win, though? That's the question. The economy is in shambles here for Skyler. Meanwhile, so is the same can be said for Buster, where Buster... No, is he going to lose his natural? Oh my god. The natural goes down. It was not lifted up. Like, that was one of the advantages that Buster had. Like, Skyler is having a hard time breaking the main base, and if Buster was able to keep both CCs alive, then he would perpetually have the economic advantage, right? He would have scans, he would have mules, but oh god, after losing that natural base, this is a really rough position to come back from. That Banshee forced all the SCVs off the line. My god, speaking of, the SCVs are pulled here for, oh god, for Buster. It looks like the Marines are going to be enough, and Buster will clean everything up. Skyler has nothing left. Skyler has absolutely nothing left, mate. He scans, GG, not even, well played, and Buster takes the game. Yo, the Banshee killed everything. I thought Skyler pulled the SCVs to go across the map. But apparently they all just died. All of Skyler's SCVs just fell to that lone Banshee. And as we saw, Skyler just couldn't break the main. He just couldn't break the main at all. He was all in. And Buster is making a series out of this. God, I'm just watching the I'm watching the stream on a 2-minute delay, and mate, that Banshee showing up with no response. Oh god. Sky, yeah. Ay. Skyler's just messaging me. He's like, oh my god, I just had to make an eBay. That's all I had to do, an engineering bay. And he's right, that's all he needed. He just needed a missile turret, and he would have been fine. I'm just waiting for the map pick. You know what? I'll just message Buster for his map of choice. Ooh. And again, for the first time today, we are going to be playing on Blackburn. Alright, let's get everyone in here. Send out the invites. Rishi, where are you? There you are. Boom. We have a series. We do, Finland Duck, we do. But Skyler is he's a little bit upset. He's like, mate, oh god. He's like, I had that. Let's go. Meanwhile, thank you so much, Fernandog, for gifting a sub to Neo. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, and I'm sure Neo will appreciate the ducks. Quack. Boy. As we are getting into game number 4, Skyler, he wanted to show up here and win and qualify 7-0. His plans have been thwarted. He may not even qualify. It's possible, mate. It's very possible. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, oh my god, of Blackburn ALE, we have the American Terran. He is red, representing Team Exxon. It is Skyler. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, and he's talking about the army graph. We have the Canadian Terran. He's blue. He's representing himself, and he's, you know what? He's put a point on the board. He's doing it. It is Buster. And you know what? Skyler threw one game. Can he throw another? Oh god, he's still upset. He's upset he didn't make the turret. Nate, it happens, Nate. You know, you gotta react to what your opponent's doing. You gotta respect. Small mistakes like that can cost games. Indeed, they can. They can. Will he make more of those mistakes? Will Buster be able to capitalize on that? I think Buster, more than anything, he's shown that he has like the tenacity, you know, to just stay in that game for as long as possible, to go for Hail Mary plays like that Banshee and just barely squeeze out a win. I'm impressed. But can he keep doing it? Can he keep doing it? The odds are stacked against him. Buster, a more unknown player, teamless, being casted here by the CranKy Ducklings. Not by Rotterdam or Zombie Grub. But you know what? He's got a chance. He's got a chance here. We'll see. We'll see if he can pull it off again. As both players so far are opening up the exact same. Bit of, obviously, different building placements. I do appreciate this though, like because of the racks placement, like he does have a little bit more vision in the main base, just in case something was going on. Boy. And we'll see where this takes us. We shall see. As Skyler, oh my, mate, he wants to play a more straight up game. For the first time, he's going for a CC first. I mean, obviously he's going racks into factory and then CC, but I think this is the earliest CC we've seen from Skyler all day. My god. Okay, he's putting on his tryhard pants. He's taking this a little bit more seriously. Meanwhile, he's coming in with 2 Reapers and a Hellion. Of course, there are 2 Reapers and a Hellion of Buster to meet his, and Skyler gets pushed away. Ooh. And as opposed to Skyler's opener, Buster did go for a 1-1-1 before that command center, before that CC, and we see he's rushing out the Cloak Banshee. It's going to come out very quickly. The distance by air is very short on Blackburn. Sure, there are slow zones, but despite the slow zones, that Banshee can get across the map very quickly. And Skyler, what does he have as a response? We should see a Raven. Show us a Raven. Up. Raven. Please. Skyler's still supply blocked. He does not have the resources. He needs to wait a little bit longer. There we go. Raven is on the way. We've seen Skyler open up with Ravens many times here, and it looks like he will have it out. Maybe just barely in time for the Banshee. The Banshee is already moving out across the map. Raven, not even halfway done. There are Marines to try and stop the Banshee. Cloak isn't done yet, so detection isn't required, at least for now. And the Banshee will show up here in the middle of the production. There are plenty of Marines to meet him. Oh god, Banshee already taking a lot of damage. And Skyler, I'm sure, is very happy with his decision to make a Raven. boy. Oh my god, the slow zone! The Banshee does get sniped. But I believe, there it is, we have a second and a third Banshee on the way. Buster, he loves his triple Banshee play. He loves it, he's all about it. And we'll see if it's enough. As he's also moving out with what units he has. Hellions, Cyclones. Does stay at home with his tank, but it looks like, oh, he will meet the Hellion of Skyler and a couple of Reapers as well. Oh my god. Skyler mate, oh my god, he actually turns around? Skyler losing a couple of units needlessly there. Bit of Miss Micro, mate. Is Skyler slipping up? Is he falling apart? Is it happening? Meanwhile, Finad Dog, I'm shocked. I'm shook, mate. Oh my god. Meanwhile, the Banshee shows up, gets a couple of worker kills, and does escape. I love it. Buster not sticking around longer than he really needs to. Again, there's a lot to be afraid of. Cyclones, Marines, Ravens. You gotta be careful. And he actually, he dives back in, this time with Cloak. Oh, and he will get a couple more kills, and he will escape. 5 SCV kills in total. Solid damage being done. We do have another Raven, I believe, coming out as well. Raven? What? I meant Banshee. As the second Banshee does show up here in the main base. No missile turret. And again, more SCVs are falling. Yo, Skyler's getting picked apart. Buster well ahead in the worker counts. These Marines are falling. Oh my god. Skyler, mate. What's going on? He's only got one Raven. The Marines show up in the main. And then the Banshee could dive into the natural. Unfortunately, Buster didn't decloak. So this cloak is running out. It's a lot of wasted energy, unfortunately. Same with this Banshee as well. Oh, but can he get the Cyclone? One more. Does get the Cyclone. But it looks like the missile turret will finish up. So it's going to be a little bit harder for this Banshee to deal too much more damage. And behind this, we got Stim on the way. Solid bio tank style coming out here from Buster. And we have a Doom drop. Oh my god, that's a Doom drop if I've ever seen one. 4 tanks. 4 tanks, that's crazy. Stim is completed for Skyler, and he does dive in completely unscouted. Can he deny the Stim? Can he deny it? 3, 2, 1. Stim just barely finishes in time, 1 second away. But even though Buster has Stim, can he even break this position with 4 tanks? Ooh, the Banshee is sneaking up on the tanks though. Ooh, the Marines do react and they do focus down the Banshee. The boys are being pulled. Buster, he pulls everything to try and break this, but it doesn't look like it's enough. Oh my god, it looks like 1 tank, the second tank will fall. Only 1 tank left for Skyler, and Buster holds in his main. He loses a lot of SCVs for that, but at the same time, it's kind of worth it. Buster is down 10 workers, but he just killed 4 tanks. And he didn't lose any of his own. If I quickly check the units tab, Skyler, the tank count was reset. His first tank has now just popped out. So Buster has a very massive army lead right now. Or has a more sophisticated army, I should say. Again, TvT, a lot of it does come down to the tanks and their positioning. Meanwhile, Skyler, he still has a lot of Marines, and oh my. We'll be able to delay this third CC. Speaking of thirds, Skyler, I love it. He's taking the gold. Because why not? Meanwhile, no, the third CC! Oh, it goes down! But if this micro, he didn't go back to the safety of his natural. Instead, he went off to the left for some reason. Meanwhile, the drops do pass by each other. Both players doom dropping each other. God, there are a couple of Marines here to respond to the drop of Buster. Only a handful of Marines though, and it looks like Buster will drop his tanks. He will siege up, forces all the SCVs off the line. And it looks like this reaction is going to be enough here. It looks like Skyler should be able to clean up these tanks. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we got Marines in the natural base. We got tanks in the main. Buster fell apart. He didn't have anything to defend. GG gets called. And Skyler takes game number 4 and the series. GG, well played. Skyler, I believe, is the first player to qualify for the closed qualifiers today for North America. Almost went undefeated. Almost qualified without dropping a single map. Oh god, Skyler's like, hey, I hope the casts were fun. I tried to do a different build every game. Oh god. GG, well played. Congratulations, Skyler. And now we have to have a look at the bracket.